Hello, and thanks for joining me on this showcase program. I'm Michael Linke, General Manager here at the Australian Institute of Architects, and it's great to have you with me for a little while. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Stiebel Eltron. Stiebel Eltron are one of the Institute's Climate Action and Sustainability Task Force partners, and here to talk about Stiebel Eltron is their National Business Development Manager, Sam Frost. Sam joins me on the program now. Sam, great to have you with us.
Yes, thank you, Michael. Thrilled to be here myself and get the opportunity to have a talk to all of the members watching today. So welcome today to an overview of Stiebel Eltron with myself, Sam Frost. A little bit about myself. I've had just on 5 years with Stiebel Eltron. 4 of those were based in Melbourne in our head office. And just this year, I've been based up on the sunny Gold Coast as part of our Queensland sales team. So a little bit about what attracted me to Stiebel Eltron was the clear focus on renewables technology and not on fossil fuels. A lot of hot water companies are using things like gas and the like to heat water, but Stiebel is an all-electric company. It was also a fact that the company had a design and construct principle that was designed to make products that actually last. So not just that work well, but really last. I also noticed that Stiebel was sponsors of various industry associations like the Australian Passive House Association, the Green Building Council of Australia, the Energy Efficiency Council, and very importantly to the team watching today, the Climate Action Sustainability Task Force, or CAST, via the Australian Institute of Architects. So I'm hoping that by the end of today's showcase, your members will have a good idea of how and what kind of products Stiebel Eltron offers for more efficient, comfortable, all-electric, and importantly, lower carbon building service solutions. So Stiebel's got one clear goal, and that is comfort through technology. We manufacture a range of intelligent building services for high living comfort and security of investment. So whether these building services are for a healthy home or a workplace, with ventilation and air filtration systems, heating and cooling systems, or hot water systems, we want to create products that give sustainable comfort. Stiebel Eltron's really set a clear course for the future, and that's green technologies rather than oil and gas. Electricity is the energy source of the future, and you can future-proof your home or next project with Stiebel Eltron. We're currently in the midst of an energy revolution, and we can help at Stiebel Eltron. We're one of the first to really realise that electricity is truly the energy source of the future. It's an infinite resource, unlike oil and gas, so it's eco-friendly and ideal for preserving our natural resources. We've consistently focused on development and production of green, energy-efficient heating solutions, and today we're able to offer you products which will make your home fit for the future. So whether you're implementing any of your ideas or creating groundbreaking sustainable technology in your new developments, please give Stiebel Eltron a try. Our conviction and electricity is the energy source of the future. We are a trusted partner that speaks your language. So whether it's for heating, cooling, domestic hot water, we have a range of products and comprehensive planning services that we can offer. We manufacture a range of instantaneous electric water heaters used in well over 1,000 multi-residential and commercial buildings in Australia. In fact, in Queensland, over 750 apartment blocks alone use our instantaneous water heaters. Our emerging renewables technologies, such as heat pumps for hydronic heating and cooling and domestic hot water production, and our heat recovery ventilation systems have seen a really strong uptake of recent times, worldwide and in Australia. We're seeing more than 50% of our turnover now coming from our renewables products. We've had nearly 50 years of research and development, production in heat pumps, and over 25 years in our ventilation ranges. We have training and webinars available, including certified CPD courses on these products, and our design team can tailor a specific solution for your next project. A little bit more about Stiebel worldwide. We are a family-owned company, have probably close to 4,400 employees, and last year had an 830 million euro turnover. Most of that, or in fact 50% of it, came from outside the German market, which was our original market. We're consistently reinvesting our profits in product research and development, and when required, we've got a substantial cash base to make acquisitions. Based on our projected and current sales and budgets this year, we are looking to become a €1 billion company for the first time. Record growth in our products, particularly during the COVID lockdowns, has seen investment from the company in additional factory expansions and production lines. We've noticed that a 40% rebate on heat pumps for hydronic heating in Germany has led many people during COVID who are sitting at home with higher energy bills, I think something we could all relate to, Michael, saw a really increased uptake and one that we weren't actually really not so much prepared for, but weren't expecting. So it's seen a huge uptake. And also in Australia, we're seeing many more people going for an all-electric efficient home in their new build. Having just two shareholders in the company, which are Frank Stiebel and Dr. Ulrich Stiebel, means that we can put the profits back into the business. And we're currently, as I said, expanding our production lines and new factories to meet the record demand. This is a good thing for Stiebel, but it's also great for the environment. Stiebel is a mid-sized German or mid-tier German company, still family owned and really important to the German market. And some other similar companies that you could compare Stiebel to, I guess, as far as the family ownership, companies like Miele and even BMW. So some of the other companies that are direct subsidiaries of Stiebel include Tekalor, Thermia, Proxon and Ataris. Tekalor manufacture commercial heat recovery ventilation systems, amongst other things. And this really meant that when COVID hit and we realised that it was an airborne disease, we had the ability to roll out a ready-made HRV system for schools, offices, to provide regular, fresh, filtered air changes from outside the building without having to open the windows. We've also had the ACT Department of Education install 30 of our units into their schools in the largest national trial to date of this technology. Thermia manufacture the world-leading ground-sourced heat pump or geothermal heat pump, and we sell these proudly in Australia wearing a Stiebel badge. So to this day, we still adhere to the philosophy of our company founder, Dr. Theodore Stiebel, and that's to develop and produce innovative products at the highest quality level. Our engineers and technical department are always striving to make improvements and efficiency gains over our complete product range, whether it be instantaneous electric hot water systems, new heat pumps, more efficient storage water heaters with more insulation and electronic controllers. Even the humble electric panel heater has been fitted with special open window detection features and timers that can make sure they can be used as efficiently as possible. Looking at a timeline of Stiebel Eltron, the journey began in 1924 in a small garage in Berlin with Dr. Theodore Stiebel inventing the first coil immersion heater. So effectively, this is an electric element that could be put directly into the water. We see it very commonly now in many appliances. This is how most electric water heaters in the world use an element to heat the water, and we still manufacture electric elements for most European commercial coffee machines. So the chances are the coffee that you grabbed this morning from your local cafe had a Stiebel element inside. We normally will have a reproduction of this very first product in each of our showrooms for people to have a look at when they visit. And at the time, it was an amazing piece of technology. The fact that you could plug in a device, put it into a stone or ceramic jar, plug it into the power point and have boiling water shortly afterwards was really the height of comfort in 1920s Germany. Over the years, Stiebel Eltron continued developing hot water products. In 1949, we developed the first hydraulic instantaneous electric water heater. Again, we can see there a German family having hot water at a point of use, in this case in the bathroom, ready to wash their hands and have a shave. It was, again, fairly comfortable at that time. These days, our fully electronic instantaneous water heaters can provide hot water for an entire home or apartment using precisely the required amount of energy with no circulation losses or really waiting for hot water. They're particularly good for commercial shops and office buildings, given sometimes the infrequent occupation of these buildings, particularly during COVID lockdown. We saw many office buildings unoccupied for long periods of time. And if those buildings were being serviced by a central plant hot water system, we'd find that you would lose more energy in the circulating of water around the building than you would actually need to actually provide water for the occupants. So it's it's certainly a given that these are more efficient. Even a residential building with 30% occupancy can use twice the amount of energy in heating losses when sending that water around a recirculation system in the building than they need to provide hot water for the occupants. So we do have certified CPDs available on this product. So please reach out to your local Stiebel representative and we can arrange this for your practice. 1976, well, it was a great year because, Michael, that's when I was born, but it was also probably the height of fashion. I'm sure that those flares in the picture there bring back a few good or bad fashion memories. But just like fashion, our heat pumps have come a long way since 1976 when we began development production of heat pumps for heating systems, hydronic heating systems, and hot water production. The retro look of that one there, we still have some of these available to not purchase, but to view in our energy campus, which we'll talk about a bit later at our German headquarters in Holzminden. In 1987, we developed the first fully electronic instantaneous water heater. Previously, our systems relied on hydraulic water pressure and water flow, that the more water would flow through the machine, the more electricity would be put in. And this was a rudimentary system that gave you hot water, but it wasn't as precise and comfortable as what we can offer with our electronic systems. So an electronic instantaneous water heater uses just the required amount of energy based on how cold the incoming water temperature is, what temperature you have it set to, and how many taps are on at the one time. And it measures this about 20 times per second to deliver precise, efficient hot water. As I mentioned previously, there's in excess of 1,000 apartment blocks throughout Australia that have these installed, and along with commercial shops like Boost Juice, Gloria Jeans, Donut King, to name a few. Commercial factories and many new office buildings use this technology, and it can be a big tick for ESD consultants, particularly in office buildings. For the first time in 1999, we had the first combined heating, ventilation, cooling and hot water in one appliance. So we've had over 25 years in our R&D and production for heat recovery ventilation systems, and we heard about heat pumps before, but we manufacture a large range of these systems suitable for certified passive houses through to decentralized units for multi-residential buildings and office blocks. The machine above is often used as an all-in-one appliance for an individual German or Swiss homes, and we've even installed these with our ANZAC cousins across the ditch in New Zealand. In 2015 in Holzminden, our headquarters, we opened the Energy Campus, and this is a really fantastic building. It's an energy positive building. So it basically produces more energy through the use of solar PV on the roof and angled solar PV on the facade than it uses in a day. And through the use of our renewables technologies like ground sourced or geothermal heat pumps and air sourced heat pumps, we can provide heating, cooling and hot water for this building. Holzminden Energy Campus, we operate a training centre for our partners, and it's a building that we are proud to show off. So certainly now that we can travel again, we'd be delighted to host members there on their next trip to Europe. I might have mentioned it is an energy positive building, and it was awarded platinum certification by the German Sustainable Building Council. 2020 saw the modernisation of our heat pumps. Like I said, they've come a long way since the orange heat pump and the flared trousers, but with new refrigeration, global warming friendly, GWP friendly refrigerants that are compliant in Europe out past 2050. Germany arguably has the toughest rules when it comes to global warming potential on refrigerants, and our new R454C refrigerant is an example of using something that is cost effective, but also has a low GWP. These new heat pumps are capable of giving higher flow temperatures up to 75 degrees, and they are the quietest and most efficient heat pumps on the market. Obviously, comfort is important when it comes to being warm or cool and having hot water, but the noise that a machine makes is also critically important to comfort for you and particularly for your neighbours. So please look into that, particularly in your urban areas when specifying these products. Our system can be combined for hydronic heating and cooling and also domestic hot water production. So it's capable to put all of that into one system. And these can form the backbone of an all-electric, energy-efficient house of the future. Our in-house design team can produce a suitable design and schematic and material list for your next project with spatials and everything that's required. So again, reach out to your local Stiebel rep, which will advise where you can contact those at the end of this to get a specification organised. Again, you're also welcome to visit our showrooms, which are located around Australia, to view these products. 2020 also saw the first single-phase compact water heater with bare wire technology and our 4i technology. Effectively, single-phase instantaneous hot water units can be used in various applications. The previous units we looked at were 3-phase instantaneous hot water units. It really depends on the incoming water temperature as to how and what we can use them for. In Asia and even parts of far northern Australia, we can run showers with these units, but in our coldest regions, we would use them for lower flow applications like hand washing. We can provide members with our regionally specific product selection guide to assist in the correct specification of the product in the area that they're doing the work in. Again, reach out to Stiebel for that. 2021 saw obviously lots of lockdowns and plenty of information happening about COVID. Obviously, it is in the past, but it's still pretty relevant to us now. But it allowed us to roll out one of our products from Techalor, I mentioned a little earlier, which was our commercial heat recovery ventilation systems. And these are ideal for providing fresh, filtered, regular air changes in areas like classrooms and offices. We brought this to the market when the realization was made that COVID was an airborne disease, and there's nothing better than fresh filtered air whilst maintaining a quiet and comfortable environment for the inhabitants. Clearly, you know, you can open windows and there's nothing wrong with natural ventilation, but it's times when it's cold outside, it's noisy, there's pollen, dust, or you're trying to maintain your heating and cooling in the building, that's not ideal. So these give regular, fresh, filtered air changes into the building and are the best thing for maintaining a healthy environment. So research showed that in 2021, based on our sales volume, every 15 seconds, somewhere in the world, an appliance from Stiebel Eltron was commissioned. So it truly shows the global nature of our business. And the red dots that you can see on the screen now are direct subsidiaries or sister companies of Stiebel Eltron, Germany, of which you can see Australia is one. We've got 26 sales organisations around the world. This means that in dealing with Stiebel Eltron Australia, you're dealing directly with the manufacturer, not just a distributor or importer. And we have been in Australia here on the ground for over 26 years. You can be assured that you've got all the backup of our local expertise when it comes to engineering and technical expertise. And that also goes back to our head office in Germany and around the world. So there's plenty for you guys to be able to call on there in technical expertise. Have a little look now at our production facilities, of which we have 7 around the world. These are all facilities run, built and owned by Stiebel Eltron. So let's look at these a little more closely. Part of our plan to decarbonise our products' footprints is to manufacture as many products for the local market as close to that market as possible. Holzminden in Germany is the company's head office and our largest factory. It's where Stiebel has been based for over the last 60 years. Over the years, our factories have been modernised to the most state-of-the-art. In doing this, Stiebel's also been really conscious of its workforce, and being a family-owned company in Holzminden, which is a medium-sized village, about an hour and a half southeast of Hanover, we've been sure to make sure that when modernising our factories, workers aren't displaced and we're able to relocate them into other parts of the business. We maintain a graduates program in Holzminden to send local people off to university with the hope that they will also return to the business and give that expertise. Youth is the key to the future after all. This is where the Energy Campus is located. And as I said, it's our head office as well. We have a product production facility in Eschweiz, Germany, where we manufacture plastic components and small water heaters like the SNE. The SNE is a 5-litre underbench storage unit that uses less than 200 watts of energy to keep its water hot for 24 hours of standby. innovation of these products by using digital electronic controllers that learn the usage patterns via an eco mode and can hibernate and save energy when not in use. They also have straight up timers that can turn them off over periods like weekends when an office, for example, wouldn't need the hot water. So superior insulation is also a key to maintaining energy efficiency, because it's one thing to heat the water, but again, if you're losing that energy quickly, it's critical to energy efficiency and energy savings. So Fraudenberg in Germany also manufactures some of our heat pump and ventilation systems. So components for our hydronic heat pumps, like the condensers on the bench there, are manufactured in this facility, plus the majority of our heat recovery ventilation systems. And Poprad in Slovakia manufactures our domestic hot water heat pumps and the cylinders. So our domestic range of heat pumps, the WWK, have been used on many, many Australian homes. And recently, these were the water heaters used on the quarantine accommodation facilities constructed in Victoria, South Australia and Queensland. These units give us a COP, or coefficient of performance, of around 4, and the ability in each and every heat pump to connect directly to a solar PV system via the inverter. This allows the unit to heat the water hotter when there's extra solar PV available, and really self-consuming that PV energy. Stiebel's also in discussions with a number of energy management companies to use this technology as the two-way electrical grid becomes possible. This means that we can soak up energy from the grid when there's too much, maybe on a sunny day when everyone's got their solar panels out, and pause operation of these appliances when it's a really hot day and everyone's got their air conditioner on. So it really is the next generation of connection with the grid. These systems only use 550 watts per heating hour, and on average, you may see 4 to 6 heating hours per day. So this can really easily be covered by even the most modest solar PV systems on someone's roof. And Arvika in Sweden. This is where we make our world's leading ground-sourced or geothermal heat pumps. These you can see here using titanium heat exchangers and some anti-vibration design to manufacture a very, very quiet and extremely efficient ground-sourced or geothermal heat pump. These can use energy from water being pumped underground from things like rivers and lakes, and also in terms, I guess, trenches that can be dug in farmland. We're able to then take that energy, and the ground itself is a very, very stable climate zone. So in very, very cold areas and cold countries, after we get about 2 to 3 meters underground, the temperature is very, very stable, and we can have mild summers and mild winters underground. That means we can really understand what sort of energy we can produce from the ground by pumping the water down and sucking that energy in. And a recent proposal in Australia saw a snow resort able to save over $30,000 per winter season by changing from a gas boiler for their hydronic heating to a single 90 kilowatt Stiebel ground sourced heat pump. So it's clear on these larger commercial projects that the savings can be paid back quite quickly, just over a few years. Our factory up in Bangkok in Thailand produces small water heaters and some small single phase instantaneous water heaters. A lot of this product is sent into the Asian market, partly because one, the water's much warmer up there, so the single phase water heaters work fantastically, but they make also some filtration systems for under the bench and even whole of home filtration systems. So it's a really important factory for that part of the world. And finally, Tianjin in China is a factory that we manufacture heating heat pumps for the Chinese market. So at this stage, most of the components are manufactured in Germany and assembled in China, but we will look to expand that factory to manufacture more products there, as well as some ventilation systems and some panel heaters for wall heating. So when it comes to, I guess, manufacturing around the world, no matter what factory a Stiebel product's made in, a product made by Stiebel Eltron will always hold true to our founding statement from 1924, and that's to develop and produce innovative products at the highest quality level. Our modern take on this is listed on all our boxes and reads comfort through technology. Again, Stiebel has had nearly 100 years of experience in the development and production of innovative building services, nearly 50 years of heat pump experience, and 25 years of ventilation experience. So we feel that we really do have an authority on these products and can be your go-to company to find out more about how maintaining the energy transition from fossil fuels to all electric, we really can help with that. Pictured again is the energy campus here. And we can see that building has a range of facade, solar PV, as well as a rooftop as well. And it was, as I might have mentioned earlier, it achieved platinum certification from the German Sustainable Building Council. Some of the other awards recently given to Stiebel were the Red Dot Award, the IF Design Award, and the Architect's Darling Award as well. So work smarter, not harder. It's the age-old adage, and certainly it means for building services, we can do that as well. So whether we're looking at domestic hot water appliances through instantaneous electric hot water or heat pumps, we have the solution. In terms of instantaneous electric hot water systems, decentralization gives us many, many efficiencies by design. Our systems are compact and space-saving, and the range of Stiebel Eltron instantaneous water systems can be really placed close to the point of use. The three-phase instantaneous systems are ideal for apartment developments as a true point of use hot water system. And they mean that we don't have long dead legs and minimal energy wastage, and also water wastage, which is as well is certainly a resource that's becoming more and more rare. This results in water saving, and you're not having to wait for water to arrive. The main benefits that you save on space, you have on-demand supply, there's energy savings, the inhabitants get accurate energy bills through their electricity meter of just what they've used, you get true point of use, and importantly for developers, you can do a staged handover. So if you've got a 20-story building, you can be handing over levels 1 to 5 while they're constructing, say, levels 15 to 20. So it's really good for cash flow. Again, we do cover this in our CPD courses, so please reach out and we can go over that in more detail. Future-proofing your house with Stiebel Eltron heat pumps. So heating, cooling, and hot water using heat from the environment. The all-electric home of the future is available today thanks to solutions from Stiebel. So we combine products from the various ranges offered, including hot water, heating, ventilation, and cooling, can pave the way to energy efficiency with no need to connect to other forms of fossil fuels. When combined and optimized with solar PV, this results in minimal to non-existent bills. And with our SG-ready technology or smart grid-ready technology, they can be integrated with an energy management system to optimize the use of solar PV generation. Convenience is in the air, efficient units for optimum fresh air supply. So these are really about our heat recovery ventilation units, giving fresh air when you need it with automatic ventilation systems. So out with the old and in with the new. Our fully automatic HRV systems can give you the ability to ventilate a humid room, create a more comfortable climate in hot rooms, or ensure effective ventilation of new buildings with an airtight building envelope. We have a suitable solution for all. In a well-insulated home, conventional intermittent ventilation, like opening the windows, is often no longer sufficient. Unlike in older buildings, the moisture cannot escape through window frames and gaps under the doors. On the other hand, intermittent ventilation results in the loss of about 50% of heating energy. So just simply opening the windows 3 times a day for about an hour each probably will give you enough ventilation in the property, but it can make it certainly uncomfortable when it's hot outside, cold outside. There's dust, pollution, smoke, which is something we can all remember back a few years with the terrible bushfires that we had here in Australia. Some of the big benefits with controlled mechanical ventilation is that we can distinguish between a centralized system that's centralized in the home with ducting around the home, or decentralized systems which provide ventilation and heat recovery filtration for each individual room. Decentralized systems, such as bathrooms, toilets, kitchens, can have separate ventilation units, and often for apartments and homes, a centralized system where we have fresh air supply into the bedrooms, living spaces, and dedicated extracted air supply from the bathrooms, kitchens, laundries, and toilets means that we're able to properly balance the home, and we do offer a detailed design on this product. So again, for your next project, please reach out. Our dedicated technical and design team can come up with a customized solution for your project. Enjoy extra warmth on the spot. So we do have flexible solutions for rapid heat just when it's needed. And when it comes to that, Stiebel makes a range of wall electric panel heaters and under tile electric panel heating. One of the main reasons that conventional electric panel heaters are so popular amongst Australian homeowners is that they're fairly unobtrusive. They're flush mounted with the wall. So when they're not being used, they really just blend into the background. As they don't use a fan to spread the heat, they're ideal for people who have asthma or allergies. You're not going to have to inhale that sort of dust, which can come from perhaps air conditioners or other fan heaters. With our under tile heating, it's been designed to deliver a greater comfort and luxurious experience, particularly in bathrooms, and they provide comfortable, quick warmth underfoot. We also provide shower mats that can assist with preventing mold in showers by drying out the shower base quickly. And the programmable controller on these systems automatically adjusts to ensure that the floors are at the temperature you want all the time. So we are there for you locally. You can see our showrooms based across Australia. And Michael, if there's any questions, we can take those now.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Sam. I mean, it's great that we've now got a really good overview of Stiebel Eltron, and obviously a very well-known European organisation. In terms of architects here in Australia wanting to get in contact with representatives from your organisation, where else apart from Melbourne are you based?
Look, well, we do have dedicated showrooms across the length and breadth of the land. So all the major capital cities in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and Perth. And we have sales representatives in all of these locations, including into the Northern Territory. So first of all, I guess the contact details on the screen there are the most generic contacts. That is probably our website would be the first point of call for most people, or our info@stiebel-eltron.com.au. That will put you in touch with our customer service, and they will be able to put you in touch with the relevant sales professional in your region. As I said a little earlier, it is important to specify the right product for the right climate zone. So we can be sure to provide you with the right advice on the best products.
That's great. Thanks, Sam. Now, another thing that's interesting is, and this is a lot of feedback we do get from architects in the country, is that with international organisations, what they do is they send product to Australia, and when it breaks down, they simply chuck it and replace. What's your service mentality? What's your philosophy in relation to the servicing of units?
Yeah, look, it's an excellent question, Michael. We've been on the ground here in Australia already for 26 plus years. So we've got a very, I guess already a lot of product in the market, as you can imagine, over that time. And part of that, and having that local presence for this period of time, and being that we are the manufacturer, we're not just a distributor who sort of can drop and run at the point when something goes wrong. We do have warehouses and a full spare parts availability for all of our products. So it's not just a it breaks down, replace it sort of mentality at all with Stiebel. We have full spare parts for all of our products available by really ringing the 1-800-153-351. Dedicated service advisors that are based in our Melbourne office. There's half a dozen guys and girls down there that will deal with the public and also deal with plumbers and trades professionals. And when it comes to fixing the products, a really large service network across all of Australia. So anywhere that you can buy a Stiebel Eltron product, which is really anywhere in Australia, we do provide service and warranty for those.
Oh, that's great, Sam. Thanks very much for that. So that's the end of our showcase program for today. Thanks very much to Sam Frost, the National Business Development Manager at Stiebel Eltron, and you can see it there on your screen. Okay, sam.frost@stiebel-eltron.com.au. So if you do have any questions, feel free to get in touch with Sam, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely happy to help. Underneath the showcase video, you will see again further links to Stiebel Eltron and their product ranges as well, so don't forget to click on that. That has been it for this showcase session. Thanks very much for spending some time with us. As always, I'm Michael Linke here at the Institute of Architects. Great to have you with us and look forward to seeing you at another showcase session very soon.